Empathy is putting yourself in someone else's shoes. In the story To Kill a Mockingbird, one of the major themes is empathy. There are many scenes where the theme of empathy is being shown. The theme of empathy has been present since the very beginning of the story. Thanks to the wise words of Atticus Finch, his children knew how to see the world in someone's perspective. Scout, Jem, and many other characters have used the advice from Atticus. He taught the reader to step in somebody else's shoes and walk around in them. One major scene a character showed empathy was at the very end of the story. We have seen Scout, Jem, and many other characters grow up. Scout has grown up the most and has become mature. She has learned to take her father's advice and apply it to her daily life. She does this when faced with one of the most significant parts of the story. Empathy is a tool that is extremely useful to understand other people. After the incident with Bob Ewell and with Arthur Radley, Scout walks Arthur home. This was the first and last time Scout ever saw Arthur. When Scout and Arthur reached the Radley porch, Scout looked at the world in his perspective. You never really know a man until you stand in his shoes and walk around in them. This means that Scout used the skill that was taught to her to understand why Arthur Radley stays in his house all day. By understanding the concept of empathy, she stepped in Arthur's shoes and looked at the world in his perspective. Scout learned that Arthur knows that the world is a cruel place, and that's why he stays locked away. This encounter with Arthur would have been a useless lesson if Scout didn't know about empathy. Atticus also followed the advice he gave to his children. To Kill a Mockingbird took place during the Great Depression. When Atticus's clients couldn't pay him back with physical money, Atticus stepped into the other characters' shoes and had mercy on them. He instead requested that these clients pay with whatever they have. This could be food, plants, or clothing. Atticus is a very understanding person and knows that people are going through a lot during the Great Depression. The saying of walking in someone else's shoe does not mean you are literally, physically walking in someone else's shoes. It means that you look at the world in somebody else's perspective. It makes it easier to understand why people act a different way.
The connection between empathy and the novel is that empathy starts or stops different plot events. For example, empathy can help a character understand where another character is coming from, so it stops the fight. It also relates to a theme of the coexistence of evil. This is where the angel and the devil are on your shoulder. So the way empathy applies to this theme is that empathy makes you lean more towards the angel because it makes you understand people better, so it doesn't result in chaos or a fight, so it makes you lean more to the good side.